Alright, so on my last video, somebody said that I found the backmark too easily and that it wasn't really tracking. So what we're gonna do today is just spend as much time as possible just tracking, with the tracking methods that I suggested. That's what we're gonna do. So I'm not sure how long they will allow me to record video, but we'll see. Let's see what we can do. Let's just put it right there. All right. So let's go ahead and find that Pidgeotto. All right. So I got no idea what it could be. So most likely areas are going to be Pokestops and gyms. That's number one, where it will most likely be. Absent that, it's going to be on areas of a lot of commercial traffic, but more like customer commercial traffic, like a gas station, not like a factory or a loading dock. It's a commercial property, but it's not likely to have it or to have any spawns just because it doesn't have as much activity. So let's see. Let's see if we can find it before it despawns. Alright, so the first thing is just pick a direction. And wait for it to disappear. Now, generally, not all the time, just generally, the closer you are to the Pokemon, the higher on the list it is. So basically, that Mankey should be really close by. But I don't need a Mankey, I need a Pidgeotto. I mean, I don't need a Pidgeotto, I'm just, it will be more useful than not. Alright, so the reason I'm gonna capture this Pidgey is to get this Pidgey out of the tracker screen. You want to get them out of the tracker screen in order to, just clear out the fluff. But sometimes you want to leave the Pokemon on the screen and use them as markers. Alright, let's see. I could use that Ponyta too. So now the Pidgey. You know what? I'm gonna leave that Pidgey right there. Oh, see, it's the second from the top. So I'm gonna leave it there. If that Pidgey is the second from the top, and the Pidgeotto's there, it could be at these two Pokestops. Let's see. Nope, disappeared. That's not it. Okay, so if it disappeared here, and I'm out of the bubble, that means... Alright, you see that circle around your character? The Pokemon have a similar circle. when you step out of that circle of their range, they disappear from your tracker. So if I stepped out of the bubble, that means it has to be in that corner right over there, or this Pokestop. Let's go check it out. You know, a lot of people want the steps back, but what I wish they had instead was the remaining time. You know, kind of like in the radar apps. Oh, it despawned because I'm exactly. Nope. It refreshed. So it's either at this Pokestop right there, or it's at this corner. This one in the corner right over there. Well, we found that the Diglett from before. I'm gonna leave him alone. There's that Mankey. So we found Mankey, we found Pidgey. So I'm going for that corner. This one. That's where I'm going. We got a Rattata in there? Yep. Oh, it refreshed. Okay. There's a Mankey, there's a Pidgey. Diglett's not in the tracker. Fiero. Alright. Now, some of you might say that the tracker doesn't work because the Diglett wasn't on. Well, they can only fit so many Pokemon. Let's see. That Ekans probably just spawned. We're gonna go. We're gonna go in the opposite direction. I started walking north. As my initial direction, it disappeared, so now I'm gonna go walk south. And usually what I like to do is walk in a diagonal direction from the spot that I found it. There it is. So, we are on this street, right here. We were 1 block away, over here. We kept walking down the street. Right about here, I stepped out of the bubble. I stepped out of the circle of influence of the Pokemon. So of course it disappeared. And once I started going into a diagonal direction from that spot, sort of like making a triangle in the circle. It led me to the Pidgeotto. All right. That is not a good Pidgeotto, but oh well. Trying to go for a great throw or excellent throw. Nope. He's gonna bust out of that one too. Maybe he's hungry. Just gonna berry. You know, when I have the recording on, it's very choppy. It sort of affects performance. Okay. All right. What to track next? Let's see. I got plenty of Growlithes, but let's grab that Growlithe anyway. So, the Growlithe appeared when I was like over there. Now, when a Pokemon appears, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are within range. It could have been that he just spawned within the range that you were at. So, I'm going to go, you know, just pick a direction, you know, it's just kind of like the Cheshire Cat said in Alice in Wonderland. If you don't know where you're going, then it doesn't matter the direction you pick. So, let's go this way just because there's, you know, 2 Pokestops and there's a gym. So let's see what we get. Also notice that I'm leaving the other Pokemon uncaptured, unattended, so they can serve as markers. Markers that will help my process of elimination. All right. Let's see. All right, a little bit closer. Now, on my last video, I spoke how important it is to remember where Pokemon spawn. Because these spawn points don't move very often. There it is. Now, the reason I decided to walk this way is because I know from experience that this spot spawns Pokemon. Right here. It's by this Pokestop, and it's right across the street. So again, you want to prioritize looking around Pokestops, then gyms, then dense populated areas such as apartment complexes, condos, things like that. After that, it would be shopping centers or places where the public frequents in a commercial property. Gas stations would be much more likely than, say, a shoe store, because more people go to gas stations. Walmarts, The sort of general store, grocery stores. That's good. Um, it could be in other types of properties, but I'm just saying, the likeliness. Just think on how popular the place is. So after you eliminate Pokestops and gyms, just think on in terms of density, population density, and whenever it's commercial or residential, and you will most likely land it. If there's nothing around, you do the method that we did with the Pidgey. You get to it until it disappears, and then you walk backwards, diagonally, if you can, or the best you can diagonally, because sometimes there's like buildings in your way. You know what? I'm just gonna use basic, yeah. But don't worry about it. We're gonna be looking for more Pokemon, at least until we have enough light. Oh, what? How dare you? Come on. Now in parks, when you're in a park, and as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go hunting in a park later on. The spots where the Pokemon spawn are always the same. Sometimes these spots move about once a month, something like that. But say if you're in a spot, like this spot right here, it has a Pidgey. Okay. Well, now I know that this spot, a Pidgey spawn. All right. Let's say you're walking around here once again and you see a Pokemon that you really like. Snorlax or, whatever. Okay, Aerodactyl. Anyway, you already know that this spot spawns Pokemon. Now, you don't know if it's the Aerodactyl or the Snorlax or the Pokemon you're looking for. You don't know. But you're going to go check it out because it could be. It could have spawned the spot you want. So the people need to understand that Pokemon can't just appear anywhere, like in random locations. It's pre-programmed and prefixed. Now, the locations can spawn one Pokemon every 20 hours, every 5 hours, every hour, every half hour, whatever. Okay, they're different. But it's not something that the entire field of the county or the state is going to spawn Pokemon. That's not how it works. That will be a lot of processing power. Okay, let's see who else I want. Cubone. You know what? I do want Cubone, but I can already hear some people typing saying, oh, you chose a Cubone because it's already at the top of the list and it's the closest. Okay, let's do that Meowth. Even though I have like 10 billion Meowths, let's go ahead and do that Meowth. So pick a direction. You know what? I don't remember when that Meowth spawned. Alright, so I'm gonna go south because I already know, we went through the north side and through that building, and we know that we saw Spearows, Rattatas, Pidgeys, Ekans. So I'm thinking that if those Pokemon are still around, actually maybe they're not because they're not in the tracker. Well, it doesn't matter. Like the Cheshire Cat said, you don't know where you're going, then the direction you pick does not matter. So the reason you want to pick any direction is just for perspective. You want clues. You're looking for clues. in order to use deductive reasoning and find out where the Pokemon is. You know, I know when Pokevision was on, the creator compared Pokemon to a Marco Polo game. Pokemon is not a Marco Polo game. Or actually, I should say Pokemon Go. No, I mean, the main series too, you know, you don't have any sort of indicator or tracker in the main series. You have to work for it. You have to find it. You know. So maybe the complaint comes from people that, you know, they didn't play too much Pokemon. You know, I mean, a tracker is a luxury. The closest thing to a tracker they had was, I mean, I know that that Ruby and Sapphire had a tracker. They did, but it was more of a radar detection that showed you if the Pokemon was nearby. Very similar to this, in concept only, not in expression, because it was much worse. You just walk around and the thing might start making noise. See, we're getting farther away from the Meowth. So I'm thinking to go back where I found that Pidgeotto. Yeah, let's go do that. Even though I do want a Machamp, I have a Machoke waiting to be evolved, so that that Machop would be very useful. But I'm doing this to demonstrate and teach how to track, in order to reduce the complaints of people that don't know how to track and don't know about reductive reasoning. It's not working? It's not gonna work? No? Alright. It's still a bug game. Still buggy. Alright. Whoa! I bet it's on that Pokestop right over there. Either that one or this one. Whoop. Didn't mean to click that. Alright, so what I'm doing is, the Meowth got further, it didn't disappear, but it got further around there. So I'm just going a triangular, I'm just going diagonal. I'm going like this. See if I can have any luck. And also, I'm going to an area that I know spawns Pokemon, and an area with Pokestops. Well, I can't be getting further because it's spawned over there. So that means that more Pokemon spawn between my location and its location. Now this path, if I go north, I only have one Pokestop. If I go this way, I got more Pokestops and a gym. So this one's more likely to have it. Get some items. Getting kind of close. All right, so this is near the area where I began. So now we're gonna go north. Now I know from experience that some Pokemon, they spawn around here. It's one of those spawn points that doesn't have Pokestops or gyms or anything, so we're gonna go check it out. It would be really cool if we found like a rare Pokemon, like a Porygon or something. That'd be kind of cool. All right. Oh, they spawn on me. Oh well. All right, so let's go find that Growlithe. Yeah, why not? So we're already going to this direction, so, you know, why not? All right, this road is closed. I don't know if you can see that. So if it's there, I'm screwed. You know, I think that including the time is a good idea because, or at least some sort of indicator that it's gonna go away. And the reason I say that is, I want to know whenever I should be walking or running. I need to know a sense of urgency. You know, I wasn't very urgent when looking for the Meowth. I don't remember when it spawned. It was like one of many Pokemon. I can't keep track of it in my head. And besides, if you just open the tracker and you just see, you know, like a Pokemon there, you don't know how long it's been in the tracker. There it is. Right next to the Diglett. Just like in the tracker. All right. Let's get this guy. You know what? I got 3 out of 4, I believe. Not bad. You know what? I should turn on the AR, huh? Yeah, let's do that. Let's have a little fun. Oh, it's bugged. Oh, wow. Should restart my phone. All right, so. All right. So 3 out of 4. I hope that convinces you of this tracking information and how to track properly. I hope that relieves a lot of the anxiety and dispels the misconceptions that the new tracker doesn't work, like it happened with my last video. Somebody on Facebook, he said that I found the Magmar too easy and I just walked straight to it. I mean, I walked straight to it because it was the only Pokemon stop and Pokemon gym nearby. That's it. So, anyway, so it's been about 30 minutes. I hope you found this informative. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comments. If you have any requests, let me know. That'd be kind of cool. I like to do requests. And on my next video, I'm going to address something else that somebody said about one of my other videos. That the gym trapping doesn't work. Because you can just put a 10 CP Pidgey on the gym and beat it up with a 2000 CP Pokemon all day long. Well, guess what? That's going to take a really long time compared to gym trapping. Also, it doesn't really send a message and it has no psychological impact on anybody, which was the whole point of gym trapping, to discourage gym sniping. But I'll get to that on another video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for your time and happy hunting.